Hello friends, and welcome to the Knitworthy podcast. My name is Brianne, also known as Being Brianne on Ravelry and Instagram, and welcome to episode number 85. I'm sorry it's been so long since I podcasted. It's the summer, and my kids are out of school now, and we have a lot going on, and I'm working like almost 40 hours a week. So it's a part-time job, but I'm working a lot of hours at Target. That's okay though. But so it just makes it difficult to try and, juggle a podcast through all of that too, especially with having kids home. That makes it even more challenging. So the kids are out of school. We survived the end of the school year stuff, which is a miracle. The parties, the programs, the everything, the concerts, and most of my kids are unhappy to be out of school. They really love being in school, and one of them is very pleased as punch that school is over now. So I think they go back the early part of August, so it's gonna fly by. I just know it. Little snippets into our life. Brian and I took off the first week of June from work so that we could have an at-home vacation, which was so much fun. We really enjoyed it. We just stayed in town and did really fun things. We went and saw a couple shows. We went to the pool a lot because it's been stinking hot. And also during that time, Mom and Dad went on vacation to go visit my sister Heather in New Jersey. And so they got to go and spend like 10 days on the road with them, and I took care of the puppies, Sophie and Huck. If you remember from earlier podcasts, Sophie and Huck were at home, and so I drove over there. We only live about 4.5 minutes away from my parents, so it's not a big deal. But yeah, mostly my time has been consumed by so much work. But I'm actually going to be seeing if they would reduce my hours a little bit, not put me over like 30 hours or so, maybe 32 hours a week. Just because, like Brian was saying, like, I miss you. I miss him too. And my kids, I get to spend some time with them, during the day, but like as a family, we just don't get a lot of family time because I work a lot of evenings. And, like last night I closed the store. And so, or I was the closing cashier, I should say. I didn't actually close the store. They do that without me very easily. But I was the closing cashier, so I worked from 3 to 10. And so I took the kids, we went to lunch, and then, went to drop them off at the Boys and Girls Club, and I went to work. And then I didn't get home until like almost 10:30. And, I got to see Brian for like, 5 minutes in the morning. And then just for a couple minutes before we went to bed. And I just, we enjoy it being as a family, and I miss being able to spend time with them, which I think is understandable. So I think that's why I look and feel tired right now. It's just been a very long week. This is my Saturday, technically. I've worked the last 4 days, so anyways, that's what's going on. Let's talk about knitting, shall we? Yes, we shall. Okay, so I believe I showed these to you last time I podcasted. These are the watermelon socks. Aren't those fun? Oh my goodness. Callie is playing, can you hear her? Callie's playing with a Dixie cup in the kids' bathroom. And it is like the most fun thing ever. It's kind of like, like the game where they have the 3 cups, and like they switch around, you try and find which one the coin is under, or the pea, or the ball, or whatever it is. It's like that, but she just has the 1 cup, and it's so much fun for her. But it's just driving me a little bit crazy because I can hear it rattling around in the bathroom. But anyways, watermelon socks. And that's the second one. Here's the first one, which you can see has no heel because I'm going to be doing a true afterthought heel, which I'm very excited about. So I'm getting pretty close to the toe. These do not match, which I'm perfectly okay with. They're going to be going to my daughter. She doesn't care if they match. She's just happy to get socks. An afterthought heel is when you actually go in and you determine where you need to put your heel in, and then you snip a stitch. You cut your knitting. It's crazy. And then you pull out the stitches for one part of a row, and then you take those, you pick them up with a needle, and then you build a heel out much like you would a toe. It's like putting a toe like this into the heel of your sock. So it's very fascinating. I haven't done a true afterthought heel before. I've done lots of forethought afterthought heels where you put in waste yarn, but I haven't actually done an afterthought heel. Sorry, my warning came up that I am on 20% battery, so we're on battery alert now. Awesome. No pressure. So yeah, so that's what I've been working on. This has been in my purse a lot. And I keep it, you know, for when I have, you know, when I get to work a few minutes early, or, you know, waiting for Brian in the car, or, you know, whatever it is that we've got going on. I try and keep it in my purse because I don't have to think about it, which is kind of nice. Let's see. The other thing that I started something new. I started a new sock. Now, I don't know if you remember, I made some hand-spun socks out of this. Oh, I forgot to tell you about the yarn. I'm out of practice, can you tell? This is Biscotti yarns that I got from my sweet friend Michelle. And this is the watermelon colorway, but it's an 85% superwash merino and a 15% nylon. And it's made in Canada. Sweet. It technically is made in Quebec. So that's why some of it's in French. Because, you know, they're fancy that way. Totally true. Totally true. All right. So I had this hand-spun yarn, which has seen better days, but that's okay. It's just a little bit falling apart here, but that's all right. I still love it. That I made from Walnut Farm Designs. This is a purchase I made back in June 20th of 2016. So it's almost a year old, almost 2 years old. But I spun this yarn. This is the Rhubarb colorway of theirs. And it's a 85-15 merino nylon blend. I have one more skein of theirs like this. I'm excited to try and spin up soon. So we'll see what happens with that, but I don't know when I'm going to chance. I haven't been done a lot of spinning lately, not for a while, just because that's just not where my heart's been. Like, I want to do something that I really enjoy doing, and spinning just hasn't like filled that for me. So that's okay. It'll come back. I paired it with just some plain white. That's more like a creamy color, that I bought on Etsy. It's an undyed wool. I forget where from, but I've been striping these socks. And isn't that really fun? Let's see. So I'm doing a toe up sock with a heel flap and gusset from Wendy D. Johnson. So it looks like this. And I just think it is stunning. I'm going to hold it up a little bit closer so you can see the transitions that happen. See that? It's just so subtle and so fun. And I get to the next colored stripe and I'm like, oh, what's going to happen now? Who knows? Maybe it's going to be the same. Maybe it's going to be a little bit different. Maybe it's the same. Maybe it's a little bit different. I don't know. Let's find out and see. So yeah, I'm going to have plenty of yarn left over even after this project. So I don't know what it's going to become. Who knows? Maybe I'll try and work a third pair of socks out of it. I don't know. We'll have to just see what happens, how much yarn I end up having left. Because I think I had I think I had 51. No, that can't be right. I had a lot of yarn left over because it's almost, I think I want to say it's almost 500. It was 500 yards of a 2-ply. So it's kind of slightly like a very light fingering weight yarn. So yeah, I have one more thing that I've been working on, and that's my granny stripe blanket. It's not a blanket. I don't even know what that is. Look at this. So many ends to weave in. I've been lazy, but that's okay. Let me find my little marker here. Where is my marker? I think it's over on this side. This is where I was, and right here, and I've done about 6 inches of progress on this. It looks like this from far away. It's probably about 2 feet tall. It is wide enough to go across my California king-size bed. It's big, people. It can fit, you know, me and my husband very easily underneath it with no problem. It's going to take me forever to finish this thing. But you know what? I honestly don't even care because I'm having so much fun putting together colors for it and just seeing how wild and crazy and fun it is. Like, it brings me so much joy, seriously. And I just don't know why I don't work on it more. I think it's because the rows are so long. I don't see a ton of progress on it. That was like a week, 2 weekend nights worth of work on it. I got 6 inches done. So it's not like it's terribly, like you see a lot of progress with it, but that's okay. You know, it's really not meant to be a, you know, bang it out kind of project. Like, nobody's gonna try and get this thing done in a weekend and, you know, have a blanket to show, especially not one this wide. Now, one that was like, if it was not as wide, I can totally see, you know, getting more progress done on it and being happy with it. And I'm totally happy with this. I'm so glad I have this width on it because I think it'll be very cozy. But yeah, I love it. And it's just so fun. Like, I love this transition right here. And where else? There's just like all these little sections that I've put together I just adore. Like, this little section right here makes me so happy. And like this section right here makes me so happy. Like, all these little things, they just make my heart sing. What can I say? It makes me very, very happy to see all these things. I'm considering joining an advent calendar purchase from a dyer in the UK. I can't remember off the top of my head what her name is, but she does a Harry Potter themed advent calendar. Oh my goodness, like, how fun would that be? Hello. It's just, you know, it's an investment, and you get 24 mini skeins, plus you get, I think, a full-size skein. I wish that I had written down her name, or the dyer's name. I don't know, maybe it's a him, who knows? But I wish I had written it down because I would have loved to share that with you. But then maybe one of you would have purchased it and I would have got a chance to do it. So maybe I'm glad because I'm hoarding that name like a little dragon. I don't know, we'll see. I have something I finished. This has been on my wheel for a million years. I want to say this has been on my wheel since, I'm going to say January. I'm telling you, the spinning. I finally was just like, Brianne, this is ridiculous. We need to finish this and you need to get it off of your wheel and just be done. Be done, my friend. I talk to myself that way sometimes. Do you ever do that? I totally do all the time. Like, Brianne, seriously, get a grip. Or, Brianne, you are rocking this. Go for it, girl. But this is from Wool Gatherings, hand-painted yarn and fibers. You see that? It's 80% merino, 20% silk, 4 ounces. And she's at wool gathering. I don't know why do I always assume that it's a she? I don't know. That's the thing I need to work out in myself. Sometimes things are men too in the fiber arts world, right? There's leading men fiber arts. Why can't this be a man? Brianne, get with it. Okay, 265 yards of a 2-ply. So this is like a nice, I don't know, DK weight. But it's so soft. And I think the colors are beautiful. Oh, look at how nicely it matches my shirt. This is a new shirt. I bought it last week. It makes me feel like, I don't know, kind of like fancy. Doesn't new clothes sometimes make you feel that way? It totally does to me. But here we go. It looks like that. And so I'm really super happy with how it turned out. And I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I haven't quite decided yet. Sometimes I spin something and I'm like, I know exactly what's going to happen with this. And sometimes I don't. And so this is one of the times when I don't. And I'll just have to figure it out later, which is totally okay. But I'm kind of like in a, like, I want to finish things, but I want to cast on all the new things. You ever feel that way? Where you're like, I want to do this, but on the other hand, there's this. Two completely opposite things. Which one do I do, right? That's very frustrating. And I'm in that stage, like I want to cast on a new shawl with some yarn that I had purchased, the Dream and Color yarn that I showed you guys. Nobody gave me any ideas. Nobody. So I'm still left trying to figure out what I want to do with it. I just need to spend some time on Ravelry and kind of figure that out. But that's okay. I don't blame you. You have things going on too, right? Your life is full. Your life is busy. You have things to do, right? Your laundry's probably running right now and you're doing dishes because you're like an awesome multitasker, or maybe not. So yeah. So that's what that's going to be. I want to do something with that, but like at the same time, like I have 2 pairs of socks going and I have my crochet blanket, which is kind of just like a side project. Like it's not really like a fully ongoing project. So yeah, lots of rambling today. I'm sorry. My mind is in a million different directions. Doesn't make for great podcasting. Or maybe it does. Maybe you're just so totally entertained right now. You're like, oh, Brianne, what are you doing? And the answer is, I don't know. I'm doing stuff. Okay, so that's really it for my knitting and spinning right now. Oh, I did start a new spinning project because I thought I just finished something. I really need to like keep the momentum going. So I started a 50-50 merino silk blend. And if I was really smart, I would have brought that out to show you. I'm not loving the merino silk 50-50 blend. It's just a little bit too much silk for me, I think. And I'm just not enjoying it. And then Callie has discovered that she loves playing with it on my wheel. And so like she attacks my my yarn or my braid. And so then I end up having to like watch my wheel all the time. So I ended up like disconnecting the braid from the you know what I've already spun, and I'm keeping that in my room, kind of like under lock and key situation. Oh, Callie the cat, what are we gonna do with you? But so we'll see what happens. I need to spend a little bit more time on it. I just didn't like. Sometimes you immediately fall in love with a project or like a spinning or knitting or something. Like that's the way I felt about my handspun striped socks. Like I immediately fell in love with it. Like it was just love at first stitch. And all of a sudden I realized like this is the most amazing project I've ever done. Like there is nothing more beautiful I've ever made, even though it's just a pair of simple socks. Like I fell in love with it. And so it's been a joy to work on it. But that spinning, like I just didn't get the joy out of it right away. And so, you know, it makes me not want to work on it, which is kind of stinky, but, I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. Okay. So let's talk about the contest we have, because I'm feeling the pressure from my phone to continue going. Hi.
Mama,
What, baby? It's almost time to be done, but I really need for you to stay in your room, in my room, please. Here's Evan. Hello.
Hello.
All right. I asked you to stay in my room. I'll let you know when I'm finished. I'm almost done. Okay? I love you so much. Thank you. All right. All the perils of podcasting when children are home. You never know when you're going to get interrupted. I was really good. We went for 20 minutes, though. Good job, everybody. Okay, so we have a contest going on right now, a craft along, the festival craft along. So the point of this craft along is I went to the DFW Fiber Fest in April, which was amazing and so much fun. And I totally talked about it in that podcast at the end of April. And I tell you, like, it was kind of like an insight into this amazing world that we as fiber artists live in. And like, I went to Yarn Fest which is in Colorado last year. And I went to that, but this is a much bigger kind of event. And so I got a taste of it last year with Michelle and Lorette when we went to Colorado, which was wonderful. So like I dipped my toe in. And I feel like when I went to DFW, like the pool was bigger and I felt more brave, and I went up to my hips. If I ever go to Rhinebeck, that's going to be like going into the ocean, like all the way, like to where you can't touch the bottom and you're just full on swimming. That's my dream. Someday I'm going to do that. But for right now, I loved going to DFW. That was so much fun. I had a wonderful time. Got to go with friends, met some new friends. It was amazing. It was amazing. So I was inspired to do this craft along, which is basically, I want you to knit, crochet, weave, sew, craft anything that you would like to take along, that you would like to show off at a fiber festival. Whether or not you can actually go to one. Maybe you live in a place where one is not near you. That's okay. Honestly, my closest fiber festival is maybe like an hour and a half away from me, which is not terrible at all. I totally get it, but it's very small. To get to bigger ones, I have to travel more, which I love to travel, so that's not a big deal. So maybe you have a fiber festival that you can go to. Maybe you don't. That's okay. We're going to pretend that you can go to one, and you're going to make something that you would love to take with you to show off, to wear. We had someone that finished up a project of stitch markers that she would pass out and trade with other people. What a brilliant idea. They were doing that at DFW, and I thought it was so much fun. Man, if I had known about that, I would have brought along stitch markers to trade, because it was such a good idea, right? Okay, so just make anything that makes you happy. Make anything that tickles your fancy, that makes you happy, that you want to share with other people, share the world, whether by actually sharing it, by passing them out, or if you would like to, share it by just, wearing it and letting other people enjoy the fact that you have this thing. Okay. Let's talk about more information. The contest ends September 30th of this year. You can make more than one thing. Totally. More than one project is allowed. Gabby Knits has made, I think, 2 or 3 things, which I think is fantastic. I love that. Go Gabby. She's also double dipping with the Harry Potter Crochet and House Cup, Knit Crochet House Cup, which double dip with other knit alongs, other craft alongs, other crochet alongs, just whatever, like, feel free to, include this with other things that you have going on. I think that's a great idea. Just make sure you're using the FO thread to post your finished object. And then make sure that you do a separate post for each item that you finish, because I want to make sure you get all the credit for it. So you get additional entries, right? You don't have to start a brand new project for this. If you have, excuse me, pardon me, I am so sorry. If you have something that you started in January that you would like to be a part of this, go for it. If you want to start a new project, go for it. If you have something that you started 5 years ago, finish it. Make it a part of this knit along, this craft along. You just need to be a member of our Ravelry group to win, and I'm going to choose the winner by random number generator on October 1st. So that's it. The winner of this craft along gets this beautiful gradient set by the 100th sheep. This is amazing. It is 660 plus yards of a superwash merino Tessa silk blend, which is 80/20, and it's 6.7 ounces of yarn. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I'm so excited. I purchased a similar gradient set in a different set of colors from Peggy of the 100th Sheep. I'm totally going to make the On the Spice Market shawl from it, because I think it's going to be so beautiful. So, you know, be dreaming about what you would do with hers, or you know what? Like, go onto her website, which is the100sheep.com, and order your own set. And then you can just be like, boom, extra, right? You do something, another amazing project with another gradient set if you happen to win this one. I think that's it. Y'all, it's been crazy around here. I am so crazy today. I am so sorry. Fun things we're doing tonight. We are going to go watch The Incredibles 2 in an IMAX theater. Super exciting. We bought our tickets early. We're going to be in like the fancy seats. They're the ones that were like recline. You can put your feet up. It's going to be awesome. I've already been to Target today. What else have I done? Sorry, I'm working on very little sleep. They should not let me close the store. I don't do well. I have dreams. Do you get dreams about work? I get dreams about work where I have dreams that specifically that I'm closing the store. This happens every time I close the store, or every time I'm there past like 8:30 or 9. I wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning and I literally see people lined up in my bedroom, and I'm in my pajamas, and they all have their carts of stuff, and I hear my manager, Roy, or my immediate manager, Bree, her name is Bree, can you believe it, Bree and Brianne, going, Brianne, you know, you've got people, you've got guests, and I'm like, I don't have a scanner, and I can't process credit cards, I don't have any cash, I'm so sorry, and like, it's terrible, and I wake up like in a panic, and I can't go back to sleep after that, because I'm so panicked, and I don't think that's a good reason to not let me close, though. Like, you know what I mean? So anyways, crazy. I have weird dreams all the time. I'll wake up and tell Brian in the morning what my dreams are, and he's like, you have the weirdest dreams. I'm like, I know. Or like, I'll wake him up because, you know, something happened, and I'm like, I'm so mad at you. You know what you did in my dream? And he's like, I'm sorry. I should never have done that in your dream. He's so good about it. All right. Weird stuff. Weird stuff. Anyways, friends, that is it for today. Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate you coming. If this is your first time viewing the podcast, go look at other podcasts. They're much better than this one. This one is just a little bit odd today. If you are a returning viewer, I'm so glad you came. Thank you for coming back. And you know what? I really appreciate you guys, you know, watching the podcast and interacting with me. That's always so much fun. I love it. So I hope that y'all are doing really, really well and that everybody is healthy and happy and thriving, and just that you have joy in your soul. So anyways, oh, sorry, it did it again. Anyways, I just want to let you know that you are knitworthy, and I will see you next time. Bye, friends.